morning. Just quickly go over a couple things yesterday that happened on the interwebs and just try to challenge a few of you to think just a little differently. I'm not going to try to change your mind. I don't think that's going to happen. But there's two subjects. One was there's this huge internet meme that happened at the expense of a young lifter. The drill was she was working on her snatch, and Coach Osmond Manzanares, who's a personal friend of mine and who has coached me and helped me with my Olympic weightlifting, I'm not coming to be a homer for him, but I am going to defend him, and I'm going to tell you why. One is we don't know, based on the video that I saw, what the front end of the story is. What did he try? What did he do? What was not working? And why did he think that this would be a good drill? I have seen him use this, not with a bar, but just with the lifter and then with PVC, and I've seen it be successful. Now, does that mean that I agree with everything that Coach Oz programs or what he says? No. As a coach, no. But I trust the fact that this is something that he's done, and Osmond's a senior level coach. I can't tell you how many times he's won nationals, and I know he's been on the Olympic team twice and competed as an Olympian once. Those are things that I know. I also know that he takes lifters to national and international level events every year, and they don't only participate, they podium. And I've worked with a few of his lifters working on squat strength and stuff like that. And one of the girls that I work with recently won Pan Ams in her age and weight division. So clearly, this is not somebody that's just flying by the seat of his pants and doesn't know what he's doing. It doesn't mean that he's not above, being any kind of scrutiny or criticism, but it just seemed like, to me, when we made an internet meme of a young lifter in our sports, that it went too far. We crossed a line, and I've seen other people use unorthodox things, but because it followed what you believe in, it was okay. And again, I think that's where we crossed a line, and we should have been better. We should have been smarter than that. And so I was a little bit frustrated by that. And I think it gives us a moment to pause to, you know what? Osmond's on the internet. They have a website. They have an Instagram. I know he's got an email. And if somebody would have just simply respectively asked, he'd have probably answered you. The other thing is this whole thing about GoFundMe. Why do you care? I mean, seriously, you don't have to agree with it, and I get why people don't agree with it, but I don't think it's anybody's right to get on the internet and try to shame people because they're using something that's available to them. Again, you don't have to agree with it. I don't have a problem with anybody having an opinion and posting it. What I do have a problem with is people involving themselves in someone else's business when people, there's people interested in donating to these people's causes. All right, I don't have to agree with it, but I don't have a right to try to create some sort of detrimental or negative atmosphere for this person. And then you see a post there's a female athlete that I know, I'm acquainted with, very nice person, and she posted her opinion and didn't like the idea. I got no problem with that. And then a guy that I'm acquainted with online comes in, tells her to mind her own effing business, then that she is some sort of C word. I don't remember what all he used descriptively to get to the C word, but I can promise you that's never going to end positively. There's nothing redeeming that's going to come from that kind of dialogue. You can post your opinion and go, look, your opposing opinion. We just tend to get on the internet and use social media as a platform to jump on a bandwagon and to be shitty to each other. And I'm quite frankly sick of it. It's just not necessary. We got a young lifter that basically became, an internet phenom over something that she wasn't in control of and was doing what her coach said. And from what I understand, ultimately ended with a positive outcome. We can argue for days about whether it's safe or not. I saw Travis Mash, and I'll preface this, I got nothing but love and respect for Travis. I've known Travis for a long time. And great power lifter, great weightlifter, great coach. What he's doing with those kids and with his lifters, I love it. I saw him years ago post a couple of videos of him cleaning and snatching with bands, and people lost their mind. And come to find out, it's something that's very effective for him. And Louis Simmons has taken it on the chin about his Olympic lifting book, his weightlifting book, and some of his training. And I remember many, many years ago where people were very critical. It just goes to show you how closed-minded and how simple-minded we can be collectively as a sport and the people of the sport. All I've done is judge and watch several of his lifters do exceedingly well and break records and so forth. And I've seen him work with Olympic lifters as well. I have seen it and see positive results. And at the end of the day, strength is where you find it. And if something is a little unorthodox, we see arched back good mornings as a normal thing. And I'm always going to argue risk versus rewards. Does it work? Absolutely. For me, as a coach in my gym and the people that I work with, do I choose to use it? By and large, I don't, because I think the risk outweighs the reward. I'm not arguing the benefit of it. I'm not saying that training method is stupid because I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's my gym, it's my training. I coach the lifters, and I choose not to use that. And for those that use it and you dig it and you get great results, more power to you. Knock it out of the park. But this whole thing of jumping on social media and being some sort of internet badass, save that. Save that for the platform or your lifters' platforms, and let the results do the talking for you, Unless you can bring it, then why are you talking? And we should mind our own business. Let people do what they want to do, and if they dig, doing something unorthodox, so be it. And if they want to get on GoFundMe or ask for money, it is not our place to get on there and try to shame them. If they're doing something wrong, that'll come out. It's just we got too many other things to worry about. And our sport, while it's growing, is still too small for us to be stupid and not responsible. So, I understand why people, post, but sometimes we should take a step back and think before we post and maybe ask why. Maybe there's a reasonable answer. Maybe there's something we can learn. And I've had to learn the hard way that even though I've had great success in several sports, that I don't know everything. And sometimes it's better to, Abraham Lincoln said, better to be thought a fool and keep your mouth shut than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. That may not have been exactly the way he said it, but I think that's wise in this situation because, not everybody out there has the cachet that Osman does, and maybe he's got a good reason. I'd have no reason to argue with Travis either. Would I clean with a band? Well, one is I'm not as good as Travis, and I'm not foolish enough to try something that's going to get me killed, not because I don't think it's a good idea. Everybody's different, and that's why there's different coaches and different gyms and different training methods, and that's the kind of stuff I love. That stuff I love. I'm not a West Side guy, but there's never a time that I don't take the time when I see Louis to talk with him, and he gave me a weightlifting book, and I think there's a pile of things in there that we all could learn something from and expand our horizons and become better coaches and athletes. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he does. Doesn't mean I have to agree with every method or theory he's got, but I would be foolish not to see and to acknowledge what this guy's done in the strength community. And so maybe a little less talk and a little more listening, and then when you express your opinion, that you do so in a manner that is a platform for discussion where we can be a little more open-minded. You know, I'm not talking about racial issues or sexual or gender issues. You know, I understand those things are important, and we got a lot of work to do. But in our own community, where we act like we will eat our own, it becomes foolish. It becomes childish, and that's what we were yesterday, collectively. Nobody argued their point or had any kind of discussion that was adult-like. We acted like kids, and that's very embarrassing and very discouraging, and I was very frustrated. I think we can be better, and I challenge you to be better. You know, and if you don't like this video, that's great. If you want to be mad at me or you want to put your finger in my chest, you're welcome to do so. Don't do it. You know, if you can be respectful and disagree with me on the internet, and if you want to discuss this in person and put your finger in my chest, I got no problem with that, so long as you're respectful. Feel free. Maybe you'll teach me something, and then if you're open-minded enough, maybe you can learn something too. But we can be better as a group of people and not run down a kid that's just trying to get better. So shame on us. We can be better, and because we can be better, we should be. Everybody have a good day.